I think they would have got married, had babies, the whole nine. Because Pac loved kids. Pac loved kids. I think he was just waiting for the right woman to have him with, you know.
So he didn't have any babies.
Now, you know, if Pac had some babies, that woman would have been came out years ago.
That's right.
So, Pac was tight with not all of his bodyguards, but a few of them, you know, and they know who they are. Frank, he grew tighter and tighter with Frank, you know, like the footage in the movie is that's his niece, I believe, in the wheelchair because Janet Jackson flaked on her, you know. And, you know, Pac said, you know, come to the studio, I'll kick it with you, you know what I mean, for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's Frank's niece, I believe. And so, you know, they got closer and closer and closer, you know, because Pac was a likable person. He was real likable. Hacky, too. You know, Hacky was one of the first security people with our group, because it wasn't just Pac, it was Pac and, you know, Outlaws, us, you know. But I don't know, for some reason, soon after he got taken off of Pac.
If Pac could say anything about what's going on right now.
Going on how? With
this all the books, all the fighting, the murders that happened after he died, the conspiracies, all this stuff, like what would Pac be saying right now about all that stuff?
Okay, first of all, he wouldn't be saying, he'd be yelling. I think Pac would be saying about all the stuff going on. I think Pac would be saying to tell the truth. Pac was big on keeping it real, you know. And whatever the real is should be brought to light. With all the negligence that went down there, you know, with 50, 60 police at your hand, you know, within a hand's grasp, the money, the weapons, the bravado. What happened? I'm like 5'9", 180 pounds. When I was watching Pac, ain't nothing happened to him. People used to call me his bodyguard. I'm his brother, but they was calling me his bodyguard. Ain't nothing happened to him for 4 years until he got over there. I don't know who killed him, but you tell me, judge for yourself. I think Pac still matters to the world because, like I said, in a way, he represents truth. The real. People want the real. They want the truth. They want. And Pac was blessed with the gift of being able to make people feel you without touching you. That's what music's all about. People can do it, but he can do it in a way like the great leaders of our time, like Malcolm, like Martin. When he would talk, things would happen, you know. And I think Pac was a great man. I think Pac was a great man, but his governor was broken. You know, in the car, when you got your governor where you could only go a certain, Pac had to go all the way, every time, all out or nothing, you know. And that would happen with his mouth. And sometimes words cut like a knife, you dig? You know, and I don't think he knew how powerful he was. You know, like I saw Jada Pinkett do an interview about him, saying that, you know, he was wasting his time You know, it was like a waste of time. You're so far out of their league, you know, and they got you wrapped up in this little spot, you know. Arguments was like brother arguments. We, for example, when we were on tour on the road, you know, I had like 5 jobs. You know, I had like 5 jobs. I was working the music on stage. I had my parts in the songs. I had to get people to and from the hotel. I had to, you know, we was just making it happen. But this one day, you know, this is back in the days where we were using DATs, and I queued up the DAT to the wrong spot. And Pac, he just blasted me in front of the whole crowd. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my stupid brother. That's my stupid brother on the mix. You know, I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him. But it's stuff like that. Tupac Amaru Shakur is a very strong spirit. I still feel him today in different ways. And if you were around when he was writing them songs, if you were around in them early days, and then he wouldn't pay no attention to it, but you know, when we would listen to the demos, like, what did Pac say? What did he say? It's like, oh, that just happened last night. And then we like, whoa, that's spooky. But Pac was a very spiritual person. And you could tell, you know, he's always talking about God. He talks about God and death. God and death in his songs. And that's because I think he had a heightened antenna. You know, his antenna was more sensitive than ours. Pac definitely knew he was going to die early. He would have nightmares. He would wake up screaming, hollering. He knew he would have visions of his death in different ways, but he didn't know which way. From what I heard, you know, from different people around, that, you know, that night, Kadada was trying to get him to wear his bulletproof vest, but he refused because it was too hot. That's what I heard. That's what I've been hearing from other people. I wasn't there, but considering death row is there, you know, and flight night security, whoever guarding them, you know, you think you'd be protected.
Yeah, you would.
My first reaction when I first heard about Pac getting shot, I thought it was a mistake. I thought Pac shot somebody. I thought Pac was doing the shooting. You know, that was the last thing on my mind, that he would get hit in Vegas.
So when you first heard, you thought Pac was doing the shooting. When it dawned on you that my brother, did you find out when he was in the hospital or when he had already passed? As soon as he passed?
I found out a few hours after it happened. I mean, the sun was up, but I found out that very next morning. And I had just gotten married. I just had my daughter, Cheyenne, and we beeline to Vegas. So I got to see him, you know, as soon as we got there, I went to see him, you know. And, you know, I say this in all the interviews, Pac was trying to tell me something. He was still, you know, he had tubes all in him, but you know how you communicate with your eyes? He was trying to tell me something. And I never got to find out. As soon as I got to LA, they say he passed. So I wasn't there.
Who called you?
It's interesting. I found out through the radio. The fans was all, you know, at that time the whole community was want to know what was up with Pac. So as soon as it went down, it hit the airwaves. So I found out from the radio before any other way.
When you first walked in Vegas and you saw him, did you think he was gonna make it somewhere in your heart?
Yes. Because I knew Pac was special. Pac was touched. Pac was blessed. Pac came out of a whole lot of stuff. And I have faith and believed in him that he would pull out. And I knew how strong he was as well. But when I first saw him, I just broke down. My sister said, she was like, "Stop crying! Don't let him see you crying! Don't let him see you crying!" I was, but and then he was trying to communicate with me, with his eyes. He was just shaking the bed. I'm like, chill out. You're gonna break something else. You're gonna hurt something else. He was just shaking the bed, trying to communicate something, but never found out. And I was irritated that when I got to the hospital, there was no security. There was no security around the hospital, and they had Pac on the first floor. I was in the military. I know tactics, maneuvers, and all that. I'm like, he's on the first floor. I didn't see no security. Me and Brother Watani Tahimbo, who was his old manager, we set up a perimeter around the hospital. But spirit lives. Machiavelli lives. It's like energy changes forms. Pac was too much for this world. He was just too much. Couldn't handle it.
Wow. That's deep. So after you, well, first of all, what did you think? Did you think, where was his people? What was up? What's the deal?
I thought all those thoughts went through my mind of, what the happened? Excuse my French. What the hell happened? What's going on? I thought this is big bad death row. How the hell y'all let them? How come ain't nobody chase them? All them questions went through my mind, But it was different for me because since I had been with him from day one, I knew all the enemies. I was thinking, was this enemy that came up? These niggas in the Bay came up in him? Niggas from New York? You know what I mean? We had done it all. Was it cats in Chicago? Or it could have came from anywhere. So I had to evaluate all the information, which took a long time. And I do believe it was conspiracy. That's why there's all this confusion. It was meant to be confusing. You dig? So it wasn't no accident. Even if I would have different feelings, even if it was, some straight up gang bang gangster shit. And I don't think it was that. I don't know.
So
judge for yourself. Buy the DVD.
So you don't think that Orlando Anderson maybe he was a shooter, but he wasn't behind it? What is your theory?
I believe Orlando Anderson was some kind of pawn. Can I curse?
Yeah, you can.
Because my emotions is getting.
Oh, you
know
want
what I'm
to?
saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Negroes do a whole bunch of stupid shit for money, and ain't no telling. I think it's bigger than just some gangbangers.
It was clean.
Very clean. Nice and tidy. And I keep saying to people, know your enemy. Know your enemy. That's where what Pac and I learned as kids growing up about FBI, COINTELPRO, covert operations that, that are invisible to you or can be real. You know what I mean? So it's a crying shame, but now it's in their hands.
The world feels like they lost Tupac, but I feel like his family lost him.
Thank you. I mean, because that all gets lost in translation, But it's around me personally. He's around me too much. His life is my life. So if I didn't find a way to be strong about it, I'd be breaking down every day. I hear him every day, see him every day. Hear him every day, see him every day. And I feel fortunate because a lot of people who lost their loved ones don't get that.
It got to be hard.
At times, and at times it makes me feel proud. At times I get real sad. At times, I just miss him. At times, I wish I could just share something with him to get his response, especially about just funny shit. It's just, yeah, I miss him. Miss him, true indeed.
Do you think Tupac would want the world to know who shot him, or who killed him, or who was responsible for his murder?
Definitely.
Can you say it?
I do think Pac would want to know who took him out. I think Pac would want his fans to know if it was a real or one of them cowards. Evidently he was a coward because they had to do a whole conspiracy and all that to take him out. Pac wasn't scared to die. He was a soldier. He was just knowing when. And like I said, he was big about truth. So if it's on us now. So if we find out who killed him, I think he would want everybody to know. And deal with Pac fans. Pac fans is no joke. Pac fans is no joke. Please believe it.
Can they holler at you?
Holler at your boy. It's still Thug Life, baby. I'm still in here doing it.
Where can they reach you?
Hit me up on my MySpace /Mr. Mopreme Shakur. Holla at your boy.
I think that's it.
Keeping it thugging. West Side, worldwide, South Side.